Lúc ấy này cái sila thích Wali thích Sri thích này ya Yoga yoga chỉ sĩ ở đây thâu lục về lại đây thì ngay bảo hậu thằng nó bảo anh ấy chỉ đi tới agu đi vậy để sao đi yoga thì là aji về chịu đi cũng mặc đi tới để sao này तुम्हारी aji là về chịu yêu thằng là chỉ đi tới để sao aji để phụ được là agu đi này bên này này sửa cho cái bảo đi thì đi nhà khi gì thế lúc đó là nhà khi gì thế thì nghe bảo anh ấy đi tới bây giờ về xem lúc đó là hay là mà nó chỉ nghe về xem giờ mà sẽ xảy ra मैं खुद खाइता हूँ वो जीरा पहाड़ी कैसे होंगे सारे सब जवाब
Sayadaw says, previous 2 days he has explained how to generate in your practice the training of morality and the training of concentration, which are the important sources through which you can produce active actions to have the overcoming power, various types of defilements which are easily arising in your life. There are defilements such as defilement of transgression, obsessive defilements, and the latent or dormant defilements. Those defilements have to be destroyed to gain real peace and happiness in your life. Without destroying them, without overcoming them, there won't be any chance to gain any kind of pleasurable, stable living in your life. So therefore there are various ways how to overcome them, how to suppress them, and how to destroy them. Through the training of morality, you can overcome the defilements of transgression. Through the concentration groups, which could be generated in your practice with your diligent effort, those concentration groups could easily overcome the defilements of obsessive defilements. still there are dormant defilements hidden behind all the time without making known to you. Those defilements are so necessary to be eradicated or to be destroyed. Therefore, you need to produce such mental active act through which you can overcome the last defilements and accomplish yourself the factors of wisdom. And when you accomplish them, there will be strong power in your mind to totally eradicate the dormant or latent defilement in your life. Sayadaw says, today he would like to try to explain how to develop the strongest power as the productive force to produce wisdom and accomplish the act to destroy the latent or dormant defilement through the practice of insight as well as through the attainments of the path and fruition knowledges.
Shumamu Shivatale Kara Niyabi Wiya Sati Samari Machatai and you hear Baneka Shiva Jotana Mari. This is Edema Chain Art for it. Something about what you did. Shiva Zamas. Bapolare ayo yashidi yeseye chinda ga tet aung so bi do you mam bi do ba di lo le shi ni su sai sai bo bi mam bi shi do naw do li chin ya lo tet la de kha naw ba ya a panya ni ya lai la da samari a kaung lo Nyam Chita, if you are Lamalo, King Daga did the war and the power and the war. Two says I should do Nyam Chita. You know, you kill her. You know, you buy Shadi. You know, Joe said the you know, Joe said the Canadian Chipola, Tokyo, which is. How this Chin don't that so yet we were in young lady as a little Chin that came from young theatre. Who had to be the Mari or a Maricana, the Diari, Akon. That is a shame from young point. I don't put out a car. You only pay it, immediately pay it. Nya Aria Gila, Aria Sila, bring up a Hana Sati. Somebody take a Mariba on a fishing who moved to a tech. It is in up a Hana Sati. Immediately, chain by chain when you do just him like. You are making a simple. Tell us this one. Edible feeling you. Pinya, Payoga one. Say to you, Kiruya, Kiruya, Holo. Yoga Nipajita. Pinya,
Sayadaw says, during our serious practice, continuous practice, gradually the meditators develop their power of concentration groups as the effort, awareness or the observing power, and the concentration. In the beginning, they may not have strong concentration group powers. They couldn't have accurate aiming, precise timing in their noting. They couldn't get the object clearly because of that lacking. Later on, as much as they try to have continuous effort, continuous observing power, continuous concentration, slowly and gradually they know how to aim towards the noting object and how to time to get the noting object when the object is really present at the present moment. So in this way, the yogis are there to develop the concentration groups. As Sayadaw has stated yesterday also, because of that possession of the observer, all those concentrative factors, they can develop the aiming power and timing power to get the each and every object to note clearly, to note simultaneously, to note concurrently and precisely. When the meditators will get that power, and that power is called the directing power or pushing forward power towards the object. In another sense, it also could be said as the thought conception according to the Chanika limbs. That Chanika limb or the right thought will be there in your noting, and that right thought or the thought conception or the precise aiming and timing power creates the accurate noting in each and every moment. When the yogis could note in that way, they can clearly get the object, to see, to watch, to know, to get precise observance. When the yogis could note in that way, there arises understanding about the object and about the noting mind. Now, this is this, that is that. This notable object is the physical phenomena as rising, and noting rising is the mental phenomena. So there are only these two phenomenal aspects, nothing more. At first, they will get the separate understanding of physicality and mentality, which is called in Pali Nama Rupa Paricheda Jnana, the knowledge of knowing discriminately the names and forms. After that, when the power of right timing and right aiming becomes stronger and stronger, your noting will be more and more accurate. Knowing also develops in your practice, so you can easily discriminate how the knowing and noting are connected each other. You can see clearly, because of this is happening, because of that is occurring. Cause and effect process could be understood clearly through that precise noting power. Again, if you develop forward your practice, not only you will know the cause and effect processes, you can see how those physical and mental objects which you are noting moment after moment, arising and dissolving, arising and dissolving, arising and dissolving. So you can see the nature of those physicality and mentality. They are not permanent things. They are impermanent things. That clarity you can reflect again and again. When such well exercised power will be there in your practice, wisdom develops in its degree. So you will get the power of wisdom to produce the strength through the wisdom active act, which accomplishes the destroying the latent defilement in the beginning through overcoming by opposite, later on overcoming by suppressive, and in the end you can even totally remove them. Which is called the overcoming by total destruction. So that power you will gain when you get the understanding factor. So Sayadaw says, when you can in that way overcome those defilements, those even the latent defilements, a dormant defilement, through the overcoming by power of total destruction, the Prayoga Nipadita would be used at that time to have active force as the wisdom to produce the real strength to disturb or to destroy the latent defilement.
Vipasana ma Sandavoli Pawini Vale Vipasana Shuyama Yogi Sani Hatu Timiva and Tishava Beijinga Sati Vilo Tinshaza Piva Lusura Samadana Yambai Yogi Kajansi Yogi Sani Hatu and Tishava Eddie Madani Sida Udu Tia on the Shuda Kai Luna Paisa Dia Kai Luna Jojo Settling the Dia Kaitana Ubasara Tamari Sino Sida Udu Dia Luya Basara Tamari Sino Nayu Quetta Reservation Basara Tamari in the Yema Basara Sambo Jojo is Sesavilla Tila Reservation it was a son. The only ginger. Now you know you missing the over the Chia, the Tini, seeing those that it. Some of them are yoga Pajala. Love the cut of a son, cut the high to Jaya Pinata. Yogi, the Italian of the
Sanders says, in Vipassana practice also, you can experience the similar type of experiences when you are doing tranquility meditation to obtain various jhanika stages. Similar type of jhanika factors could be experienced in Vipassana practice also. Sadhu says, when you will get the knowledge through which you can separate or discriminate the physicality and mentality clearly, you can experience the rough type of or immature type of excessive concentration or neighborhood concentration, which is just beginning to arise. So that is why Sayadaw says immature neighborhood concentration or the excessive concentration. When you reach to the knowledge of knowing cause and effect process, in that stage you will get little more matured excessive concentration or neighborhood concentration. But when you reach to the knowledge of comprehension or the knowledge of reflection of impermanent and so forth natures, then the excessive concentration could be fully developed. Sayadaw is mentioning all these things because he would like to show how you can possess jhanika factors even though when you are practicing vipassana meditation. And Sayadaw would like to give little more experience about these aspects today. So he says there are jhanika factors even in Vipassana practice, similar to the jhanika practice when you do the practice of tranquility meditation or the samatha bhavana.
အတ္တကသာယောဂီပုဂ္ဂိုလ်မှာတော့တိုင်ပြီးတော့ရှုနေခြင်းဘောဘိုက်ကအောက်မှုပေမှုပေါ့ဒီပေါင်းလိုက်ပြင်လိုက်ရှုမှတ်တဲ့စိတ်နဲ့တည့်သွားအောင်ဆိုပြီးတော့အမြဲမပြတ်ပေါ့ဒီချိန်ရွယ်ပြီးတော့ပြရတယ်ဒီချိန်ရွယ်ပြီးတဲ့သဘောလေးဟာဒီကျက်ပဲသို့တော့စံအင်္ဂါတော့တည်ပြီးတော့စံသဘောတော့တည်ပြီးတော့မမြုပ်သေးဘူးပေါ့ဘာဖြစ်လဲဆိုတော့ချိန်သားကိုက်မှမကိုက်သေးဘူးချိန်သားကိုက်အောင်ဆိုတော့အလေးချိန်လုပ်နေတယ်အဲ့ဒါကစပြီးတော့ဥဒ္ဒလေးကြီးစပြီးရိုးပါတယ်ချိန်သားကိုက်ပြီးအတုသာတော့ချိန်သားမကိုက်တာနဲ့ကိုက်တာနဲ့ဆိုလို့ရှိရင်မကိုက်တာလို့မရပါဘူးဒီမှာလွတ်နေတာလည်းမရတော့ကံလို့အာရုံကြီးစိတ်ကြီးရောက်နေတာပြီးတော့ဒီကြားထဲမှာလည်းပဲဒေါသတွေဖြစ်နေတာပေါ့သမဏဝိတ္တဝိလောဝိတ္တတွေဒါတွေ都ဖြစ်နေတာပါစိတ်ကြီးချိန်သားလွဲပြီးတော့ပေါ့ဒီကိုအာရုံဟောင်းနေကြပြန်ရောက်နေတယ်ဖြစ်တတ်ပါတယ်ဒီကြားချိန်သားကြိုက်ပြီးတော့ရှုလိုက်အာရုံကိုရောက်လိုက်ပေါ့ဒီချိန်သားကြိုက်ဖို့မကြိုက်ဘူးဆိုရင်မကြိုက်ဖို့ပြန်များတယ်နောက်တော့အနေနဲ့ကအရှုံးပေးတဲ့စိတ်နဲ့ချိန်သားကြိုက်အောင်လုပ်လို့ပြီးတဲ့အခါကျတော့နည်းနည်းလေးတက်တယ်ချိန်ရွေးချက်တက်တာဖုန်းလာလေးနဲ့တစ်ခါတက်တော့ပညာလေးတစ်ခါတက်တော့ခြားခြားကိုယ်ရဲ့ပေါ်လာလေးနဲ့ချိန်သားကြိုက်တယ်တက်အဲ့လိုတက်သွားပြီဆိုလို့ရှိရင်တက်သွားတဲ့အာယုံနဲ့ရှိပြီးတဲ့စိတ်နဲ့ပေါ့လေပုတ်တိုက်တဲ့ကဲလို့ဖြစ်သွားလူမစနာတော့ဘောပေါ့ဒီစရာလေးနဲ့ဖြစ်သွားတယ်အဲ့ဒါသာမယ်သူတော့ပြီးတာလေးပေါ့ထိပါပုတ်တိုက်တဲ့ကဲလို့ဖြစ်သွားတယ်ချိန်ကျက်သွားလို့ရှိရင်ထိပါပုတ်တိုက်တဲ့ကဲလို့ဖြစ်သွားတယ်ချိန်ရပေးလိုက်အာယုံနဲ့ဒီစိတ်နဲ့ပုတ်တိုက်တဲ့ကဲလို့ထိပါပုတ်တိုက်တဲ့ကဲလို့ဖြစ်လိုက်အချိန်မှတော်တော်များလာပြီဆိုလို့ရှိရင်အဝိဇ္ဇာစာရဲ့ဒီလိုနာတရားလေးစိတ်တယ်နဲ့တေးဝိစီတွေပါတယ်ခါရကတမနေလောက်ခါရက7မိနစ်လောက်3မိနစ်လောက်4မိနစ်လောက်ဆက်ကပါလို့ဒါလေးသင်ကျင်သွားသင်ကျင်သွားတဲ့ခါကျတော့သင်ပြီးကြီးတယ်တဲ့ခါကျတော့ဒီတိမွေးကြီးတွေထားတယ်ပြည်ကြီးစားဖြစ်တယ်ခါရကလည်းကြာခဏတော့ဖြစ်နေဒီတိမွေးကြီးတွေစားပြည်ကြီးစားတာအဲ့ဒီခါကျတော့စိတ်ကလေးကလည်းရွှင်လာတယ်ရွှင်လည်းချမ်းသာတယ်ဘောကြီးဆိုတာစိတ်ကလည်းဖြစ်တယ်ခဏကသမားလေးတွေရလာတော့ဖြစ်တော့ဒီကဲကလာခေါ်တဲ့တိုင်ငါလေးပေါ့အဲ့ရစပြီးတော့နည်းနည်းလေးမပြီးမပြင်းဖို့ပေါ်လာတာဒါပေချာရှိတဲ့ယောဂီတွေဟာအဲ့ဒီဘောကြီးတွေကလည်းဖြစ်ကြတော့
Sada says the beginners yogis at first when they are trying to note the rising and falling in their sitting meditation, they are trying to get the primary object clearly, rising as rising and falling as falling, with careful noting, trying to direct their mind to get the object. But in the beginning, few times they may get success in doing so. Most of the time they miss the object to get accurately. The focusing mind towards the object which you try to produce in your practice, directing to the object, that is the beginning point of the first jhanika factor, vitakka, or the thought conception. But lack of proper practice, proper exercise, you cannot have that thought conception precisely in the beginning. But there is the starting point of it. When you try again and again, gradually it develops. Before that, you might have lot of disturbances, hindrances, impediments arising different way, sometimes in the form of craving, sometimes in the form of attachment, sometimes in the form of sensuous pleasures, sometimes even they may arise as the form of anger, form of hatred, form of distress, form of disappointment, form of dissatisfaction. So that there are so many forms of those hindrances. Because of those various types of hindrances, the jhanika first factor, vitakka, or the thought conception, couldn't work properly in your practice. But as you try to do it again and again, it will start to appear. Sometimes you will get the rising object very clearly, the falling object very precisely. There is the jhanika first factor involving in it at a time, because you are driving the hindrances, pushing forward your mind to get the object. So that is why sometimes you get the object clearly, sometimes you miss it. The continuous practice helps you to develop that first thought conception, removing the defilements or the hindrances, and trying to get the object without missing them. So in this way, the vitakka, or the thought conception first jhanika factor, comes forward in your practice. When that vitakka power or the thought conception develops, it becomes strong. Even at that time you can see that when you are noting the rising and falling, your mind is trying to rub something on the object. If you have real attention in your practice, you can experience all these things. you are trying to rub the object, to polish it, to get clearly. Because some kind of direct friction with the object will be there in your mind. So therefore you touch the object, that means you get the object and you follow the object as you are rubbing the object with your mind. That is the second jhanika factor, which is called vichara, or the discursive thinking. It has got the characteristics to rub something again and again, to polish it, to make it easy. So in that way the second jhanika factor also follows in your practice when your exercise becomes more and more balanced. Later on, few days after, through your precise effort, precise observing powers, that second factor also becomes quite obvious in your practice, because now you can observe the object most of the time without missing them. Noting power becomes strong, and you will get the clarity in your noting. So the effort or the enthusiasm rises there. You get interest in noting. Because of that interesting mind, so you work very hard to get the object, and you don't miss the object. Later on, when the second jhanika factor develops, it becomes very easy to get the object in each and every noting, although some of them are missing. But most of the time you can get the object quite obviously. So, as I have used the word enthusiasm arises in your mind, that means some kind of rapture feeling will be there. Piti arises, that is the third jhanika factor. You get some kind of enjoyment in noting the rising and falling and other objects. So rapture also arises slowly and slowly. And when rapture will be there, not only rapture will be there, some feeling of enjoyment will be there. So you can see, now you want to keep the noting more and more precisely. And as much as you pay attention to get the object more precisely, and you get the object easily also, then the feeling will arise. This is really pleasurable, enjoyable. So joyous feeling will be there. That is the fourth factor of the jhanika practice. And through that enjoyment, now you don't want to miss any object. You try to get the object deep down. So your wandering mind tries to stop now. Your mind involves with the object right through in each and every noting. So there will be some kind of concentration appearing in your practice. That is the fifth factor of the Jhanika practice. And momentarily you are getting each and every object while you are noting. So the Khanika Samadhi, which is called in Vipassana practice, inside practice, that Khanika Samadhi will be there. You don't miss each and every object. Whenever you try to note, the object is there and your mind is stay with the object momentarily. So that Khanika Samadhi develops as the fifth factor of the Jhanika practice. So in this way, in your practice, those Jhanika factors are involving.
Manara body, Home Belugas for I will Melosara body. Tell the shoe that who will be up. I will not must in her. Chinda to Kagana. Chinda Pedro, who will be up. I will keep up with it. Only Malay down and came and looked at them. I didn't do that to them. Drogo Titi Dwyer, the volley, the Dalia came sad. But only looked at it. He had the two. In Malay, Chinda Kagino. So you for it. Your Ninja, you shadow that is put it together, see what put it together, you charge out for your lady, for a Sinaga, Susan San the one in the sugar. She was put it in the sugar, I did it to the quality father. Every quality got it, the bar. You know, the Baba machine. I have got it. Maybe I am beautiful, the art on it. You know, the woman in the village was sick. One maybe showing me the Chanda. That is delay. Later to I am beautiful, secretly. Showing me the Chanda. When I you don't know what it is about, similar second, Kaka Java. You get a call it Maria and said, I am Pumu. He was a lot of Mario, he was a lot of someone. Akon, and the man of the was a Akon. Say, I need to stand already.
And when your practice is continuously improving, and the Jhanika factors also coming forward in your practice clearly, then while you are noting the rising as rising, you not just only see the movement of rising, there are strong involvement of the second Jhanika factor, the discursive thinking. So therefore, at that time you can see in the rising process some kind of tension, some kind of steepness, some kind of vibration, some kind of pressure, some kind of movement. So the natures also come forward in your noting. You are not just only seeing the movement of the abdomen now, you are getting real friction to see the nature of the physical phenomena as rising. That is how you can see the development of those Chanika factors gradually. And you can see that phenomenal aspects because your aiming and timing is getting more and more